Oh, you're fine. As long as if it's Mountain Dew branded.
Oh,
If it's not Mountain Dew, yeah, maybe you
it's
should
not.
cover. I mean, in all fairness, we also had Ale 8 last week.
That's what this is.
Yeah. You got it in canned form. Nice. And I've got a hydration drink
Yeah.
here that is shaped like that. So it's.
I mean, on that note, I mean, hydration. Mountain Dew is good, and I will always drink Mountain Dew, even when the doctors tell me not to. But I have learned recently that with this heat, especially at the work at my job, as it's hot.
Hot as
Um,
heck.
a high hydration. I can't drink only Mountain Dew anymore.
Yeah.
So hydration is good.
Hydration is very good. Sorry. Go.
But I've been drinking the Gatorade.
Yeah. I
Although
honest
we did figure out that. Oh, go ahead.
Well, so we just got our Coke machine installed. So not Pepsi, I'm sorry, but like we're also a restaurant and like Coke has such a humongous
You don't.
portion of the restaurant industry. Anyway, so but all I do is I get lemonade. I get a little bit of lemonade at the bottom of the cup, and then I just fill the rest with water. And then so I basically just have a lemon water. So like
There you go.
that's what I do, and it especially now that it got reinstalled, I can do that again. Like it's been 8 months since I've been able to do that. So like,
Yeah.
all right. So I got. I hate. 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 I think I'm just gonna have to buy a webcam for the PC. It's working. It's fine, but it's just gonna be. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be to the quality that I would prefer, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
Which
you should get a webcam.
I should get a webcam. But like I just
I don't care how good Apple's cameras are. I don't care how good the iPhone camera is. It's probably not because you're running into latency. But
oh yeah, I'm absolutely running into latency issues. Which listen, I won't argue that I need a like dedicated webcam. I will also argue that dedicated webcams are a little expensive, and I've had things like a wedding to worry about. So,
that's fair.
um,
I mean, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg on a web camera.
no, but the whole being told that the whole being told that I need a $300 security deposit just went brrr, you know. Yeah.
Wow.
I had to have a 300 I had a $300 security deposit on a rented car so I can go there, and I'm just like, yeah, it's
What are you?
Enterprise. I like did the regular rent a car. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this for a day, and then like I get a call earlier this week, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna need a $300 refundable security deposit, and I'm just like, yo, that went from 157 and some change rental to 457 change. Like, why is that
I
not
mean,
in the like?
even if they're giving it back to you, that's still a lot of money
Yeah,
for a deposit.
yeah, it's super
That's
not cool. I don't
I'm
appreciate
not
it.
super happy with it with Enterprise at the moment,
Yeah, but they're
or
like
my
really
insurance for that matter.
yeah. They're the only like rental game in town though. So like, and also most third-party car rentals are super
That's true.
sketch.
I saw one of the influencers I follow. I don't even know what the context was, but they shared uh, on their story talking about. I think theirs was related to internet or the IT crash that happened,
Yeah.
but they couldn't rent a car, so they ended up renting a U-Haul truck to just drive somewhere. I, I don't even know,
Sh-
but
God,
I was like, that's one way to do it.
that's how you know that some of that stuff just needs to change.
Yeah, agreed. So speaking of weddings,
Well, speaking of weddings, if we're going to talk about that, then
or do we need to do the intro?
if we're gonna start talking about the wedding, I suppose we should probably just roll the intro.
Well, that's
So
on you.
I know that is on me. Roll the intro. I wish I could just press a button and I was cool and we had an animation, but nah, dog. So hello everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of Just Doing What We Do. Join me, obviously, and Anthony, the guy up there, up over to my right, your left, however you're looking at the screen. Join us as we're gonna catch up about each other's lives, talk about Mountain Dew, and talk about gaming, entertainment, and technology news that just sticks out to us. And if you're wanting to catch up if you're wanting to catch up with your lives with us, maybe comment about what's going on in our lives, or talk Mountain Dew with us, or just join conversation on other newsy stuff. Make sure that
Yeah.
you like this video, because we like likes. Liking is good, and especially because this is a live stream. Likes just push us out to people, which we like that push. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, please, and comment below. In fact, we've got a couple comments that we're going to be talking about later this episode. So I guess on that note, normally I'd ask you how you're doing, but we've kind of been talking about that because we can do that when there's a stream going on.
It's true. That is indeed the truth.
It's just the truth of the matter. So I guess we were talking about it a little bit before, and we'll talk about it some more now. Are we still live? Okay, cool. We'll still talk. Sorry, guys. I'm keeping an eye on our stream on my second PC because, well, both of us are cheap in our own ways, and sometimes it bites us in the butt. And for me, it's because I like using my iPhone as a webcam, and Anthony uses his phone as his internet source. So,
Yep.
this episode just is gonna have so much fun. We're just gonna have potential issues left and right, but if you're watching the VOD or whatever, we appreciate you so very much, and we want to make sure we get that out of the way early on because we don't say that early enough. Well, enough. Moving on, though, I guess we should talk about wedding stuff because I have a wedding I'm going to this weekend. One of my best friends, and it's weird to put it like that because, like, most of my male friends at this point, I'm like, yeah, they're pretty much my best friends. And I don't even have any female friends really outside at this point, so, like, I don't know why I phrased it like that, but hey, it's a live stream. Yay!
Yeah.
So most of my friends at this point I would consider my best friends. But one of my best friends, he was the best man at my wedding. He's getting married this weekend. So he lives in Omaha, and I am gonna be going to Omaha to go to his wedding. And I've getting ready for this wedding. I don't know why. It has just set me off in ways that the wedding I went to like 2 years ago for my other good best friend who also lives in Omaha. I don't know why this wedding set me off because, like, let's be clear. The first, I gotta do some math now. The first we'll say 34 years of my life, like 88 to 2014. That's 34, right? No, no.
Whereabouts? Ish. 23, 24,
24.
33, 34.
Hold on. I'm this
88 to when?
88 to 2014.
Oh, 2014.
Yes.
26.
26. Thank you. Like I knew that 30 was way off. So I'm like, I'm in my 30s now and I did not get married that recently. So
I cheated. I used the calculator.
well, I appreciate using the calculator cuz well, my calculator is currently being a webcam. So
Fair enough.
so anyway, so up until the first 26 years of my life, I never had any major issues, or it never occurred to me how weddings could complicate a life. Like, it's not that I hadn't gone to weddings before, but most of the time when I went to a wedding, I wore something and I went, and it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my own wedding. Or specifically, I actually observed another person's wedding being like organized and planned within like over a course of a month or two. And then my mind got awoken to the anxiety and stress of weddings because it had never dawned on me that someone could get offended by not being part of the wedding party. Like, it just never occurred to me that before. Like, just it complete and utter ignorance.
Yeah.
So, not being part of the wedding party, I didn't realize that could offend people. And then, like, all the little etiquette for, like, weddings, like, you can't wear a color that's part of the colors of the wedding, and you got to make sure that, you got to wear the right attire. Some weddings are adult only, which I'm fine with because I think that's kind of a pretty smart way to have a wedding if you want it to just be a fun celebration. Don't bring the kids. It's not that we don't like them, I'm for that, but like there's just so many different permutations to a wedding. And so many things that can go wrong for not only the people organizing it, but for the people attending it. Like, if poo goes sideways for an attendee and they can't make it, like, they feel bad. And then not only do they feel bad, probably the person whose wedding they're going to go to might feel a little hurt, or they might feel offended, or they might just feel like, oh, that's unfortunate. You got that. And then dude, there's just so much crap to a wedding that, like, getting ready for this one, I was like, okay, first of all, I haven't bought a new suit since I got married, so, like, there's a part of me that feels awkward about that. Like, I'm sorry, I don't wear suits that often, and nor do I need them that often. So, like, my main suit's the one I got for my wedding. Too bad. And then it's like, okay, so now I got to figure out what I got to wear. So I'm like, okay, what's in fashion for this year? Because I want to wear something. Because here's the deal. I also know the general audience that I'm going with, right? Or going to. And it's like, none of them are going to be, like, I'm technically probably going to be one of the lower incomes there, to be completely honest. But I don't care. Like, I'm just there to have fun and celebrate my friend getting married, not to compare my income with people. But, like, so nonetheless, like, there's all this fashion, and I know that I'm like, okay, I'm going to be expected to wear something relatively fashionable. So I'm like, okay, what's something that's relatively fashionable, that's kind of in? And right now, bright colors and all this kind of stuff are in. So I'm like, all right, I got, like, this pink satin shirt. Like, it's actually super comfortable for a dress shirt. I'm actually excited to wear it. But, like, it was like, okay, cool. It doesn't go with their, like, peach pink. So I was like, cool. I have an alternate backup for the day. Like I have an alternate backup shirt. I have an alternate backup shoes because like I personally am just like, what if I change my mind and I just want to have like my plaid button up with no tie and just kind of rock the chesticles and like what if I want to do that? And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I just don't know. And like, it's just, and then you got to deal with all of like the travel. Like, credit to my friends. I love my friends. They got a hotel block. And frankly, the price for the hotel, like, I'm staying in downtown Omaha and I'm paying a little over $300 for 2 nights. And towards the end of July. Like, that's a really good price. Like, it's vacation season. I'm not like, it's just the truth of the matter. Like, getting a hotel room for about $157 a night is pretty nice. So like, but still, that's like I'm looking at 354-ish bucks for 2 nights. And then I need to rent a car because my current car isn't going to make it to Omaha, or if it does make it to Omaha, it's not going to make it back.
Yeah.
And it might make it back. I might be a little bit dramatizing it, but it's also old enough that I'm just like, I don't want to add the extra miles to it because I've put so many miles on that baby already. So, like, I'm just going to rent a car, which is $154. Supposedly, until Enterprise calls me this past Monday, and they're like, so just so you know, there's also a $300 refundable security deposit on top of the $154. And I kind of, like, I didn't know how, like, I was so glad that I just left it, like, I had them leave a voicemail, because I was like, okay, cool, it's Enterprise, I'm getting work done, I'm not answering this, I'm sure you're just calling to be like, oh, make sure that when you, like, I figured it was just a checkup call, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm listening to the voicemail. It's like, there's a $300 refundable security deposit. And I just went, you've got to disclose that on your site. Because here I am going, okay, this is a $500 trip. Like, oof, but worth it for a friend, right? It's a wedding. It's worth it. So like, but then it's like, oh, now we're going to add $300 to it. I'm just like, no, now this is an $800 trip. Major oof. Still worth it because $300 of it's refundable. But like, disclose that crap, Enterprise.
They should disclose it ahead of time. And I feel like that's going to push away some customers.
I'd rather go to Hertz now, but there isn't a Hertz in town. Like, there's only one Enterprise in town, so I'm just gonna do it. But I have a serious screw you Enterprise attitude right now. Like, hey, Enterprise, if you see this, you should change that, because I feel like sooner or later someone might sue your butts off. Just a thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had some interesting interactions with Enterprise, and I'm not super impressed by their business model.
Yeah,
and that's just how it is.
I mean, frankly, all car rental is crap. Like, there's just no way around it. You either go with a big brand and you get treated like a number, or you go to a not big brand and it's so sketch you're worried about finding a body in the trunk.
Yeah. Pretty much. Options are limited.
Yeah.
Yeah, weddings are a beast. I've never been a big fan of all the hoopla. It seems excessive to me. Like, I get it. It's a celebration. It's a party, but
yeah.
It's a lot of the extra social aspects of it are just a little extra for it.
That's fair. And
there's, I mean, and yeah, the whole, like, because then yeah, you get into like who's in the wedding party, who's invited, like all this and that, and people get their feelings hurt, or they think
Yeah.
this, that, and the other, or like you hear all the stories about,
Something happening at
places
the
not,
wedding.
yeah, or like even in the pre-wedding stages, like bridezilla is the term, but I've heard of that going. I don't know what the groom term is for that. Groomzilla?
I'm
No.
assuming it would be Groomzilla. That's not. To be completely frank, like my ex wasn't a bridezilla. I would not have considered her a bridezilla. Like even the day of, she didn't go bridezilla. Were there stressful moments? Yeah, but she never went bridezilla. Um,
Yeah, and I've been as someone who has uh, assisted in the more logistical parts of a wedding. Uh, I've seen some stuff. Um, I'm thinking of one example in particular that it just got very interesting at the very end of the night because people who needed to be there to help weren't there to help because they decided to get drunk and go off and do their own thing
yeah,
and left a bunch of people to uh, clean up on their own. And
not cool, man.
it was
Not
just
cool.
especially when, well, it was I think the wedding party was supposed to clean up and half the wedding party disappeared because
They're,
the party goes on. And so the other half of the wedding party, one person of which was extremely pregnant at the time, was expected to clean up a venue in less than 2 hours. That was
Ayo.
an interesting night,
I would,
and
boy.
I won't say anything more about that because the person who's it's about can probably figure it out. And
We don't want to get calls from our friends.
I don't want to
Hey,
get
jerkbag, why'd you talk about me?
yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I'm like, and that's why, like, I want to be very careful with what I'm about to say, because, because I'm not immune to, like, the whole, like, being offended either, because, like, I remember for this friend, like, there was a part of me that was kind of secretly hoping that I'd be part of the wedding party, because, oh, boy. And, there's still a part of me that wants that, but, like, at the same time, like, I don't care. Like, I'm legitimately just so
Is it
freaking
really worth that much?
I mean, it is
Like,
to me. I mean, so
because
this
I've
is
I've
where
had that.
we'll have a discussion about this after the stream because there's an aspect of it that I'm kind of like it would have been nice, but at the same time, my overall perspective has changed at the end of this to be like I'm just super freaking happy to be part of it, because like because
Yeah,
the only way that I can really rationalize it live on stream, right, is that part of adulthood is that some of the friends that you were closest to a decade plus ago, you're not as close to now because they moved, like they got jobs. And sometimes, like, for example, in this friend's case, he's close to his best friend from his, like, childhood. Like, I'm sorry. Am I going to get mad that his best friend from childhood, who is also one of my friends, is now closer to him? Like, I can't get mad at that. Like, no, not a dog. That's
yeah,
not who I am. I'm just it's an honor to be invited. It's going to be fun to be part of it no matter what. And I need to sometimes it's worth it to check your freaking ego at the door.
yeah. No, I understand that. I've I know exactly what you're talking on all aspects of that
But yeah. So I
because
mean,
I've had similar feelings before.
yeah. So
But yeah, it's it's part of adulthood, and I mean it's one day out of your life, maybe two if you're not very, or three, four if you're not very good at it. I I don't know. And again, it goes back to all the extra social hoopla with weddings
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
is it really worth?
I can offer the perspective from my side too, because like like confession, everyone, in case y'all didn't figure it out already, I am divorced. So like I get, like part of my
You
life.
are?
What? I know it's shocking. Um, so part of my life is accepting that there were people that were involved with my wedding that, there's a part of me that legit feels like I wasted their time. You know what I mean? Like there were people who spent time and money of their lives, like either traveling or making something or helping with something for something that ultimately didn't work. Um,
Yeah.
which frankly, I know everyone has different levels of beliefs and guilt and yada yada yada, but for me, like that was like that sucks to come to terms with. Like you have to
Yeah.
accept that you kind of wasted some of people's times, but if you're fortunate, the people that matter won't think of it that way. Because like I had
Yeah.
a discussion with someone who was involved very closely with things on that day. And I remember he told me, like, I don't think you wasted my time still. Like, he, he was the damn officiant, and he doesn't feel like I wasted his time. So, like, there's something comforting to that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean that goes for anything. Because like things happen, life happens. Life is messy, and at the time hindsight's 2020. So if I can't be mad at you for, because I mean, yeah, I was
You were
part
in
of
the
that
wedding
too.
party. Yeah.
And I I can't be, you didn't know. You didn't know how it was going to turn out. Nobody does. All of that's a gamble. You hope for the best, but sometimes things just don't work out.
Poo happens.
And so for me to be mad at you for something you had no control over is disingenuous and not fair.
I wouldn't say I had
And
no control over it, but I get what you're saying.
well,
Like, we won't delve into the stuff because let's
yeah, we
not.
won't get
But
into details. It's well, and I mean, well, on the on the flip side of that, like, I mean, you say that yes, to a certain point you have control, but I know some of the other things that went into that, and uh, it's
complicated.
mental health is also hard to control, and even yeah, we learn as we go, and sometimes we learn some lessons too late, and we do stupid things. I've got my own long list of those things, um, and you just gotta, yeah. So being mad at you for that,
Yeah,
silly.
I appreciate it.
But but I get that. Like it's because yeah, I know that feeling too. Like you do something and you feel like you wasted everybody's time, but I mean, you win some, you lose some, and pick yourself back up and learn from what you did.
Yeah,
Now, if you do it like three or four more times, then I'm going to be like,
bruh.
maybe we need to figure out what's going on.
Maybe we need to learn
But
something.
you know, maybe we didn't actually learn that lesson.
Yeah. So,
But I don't think that's the case. So
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's the case, and not like we have any evidence to point towards it being the case at the moment. Like last I checked, I'm still single. So, sup, ladies.
yeah, ladies.
I cook, I clean, I take care of myself. Stop it, Apple. I cook, I clean, I take care of myself. I have a kid who's awesome.
And he's a pretty good dad.
All I'm saying is I'm not perfect. I got some rough edges still that need to be. I got some rough edges. I got some rough edges, but I think I'm a catch. Just saying. And I'm pretty sure this guy up here is kind of a catch too. We got some rough edges. You just gotta be patient.
I take a lot of patience.
Patience is a required thing for people with neurospiciness.
That's a fact.
So speaking of things that are facts, and that's a terrible segue.
He is.
So you have mentioned in the rundown, because once again, spoiler everyone, we kind of have a rundown to make things run semi-smoothly because it's a live stream.
I mean, pre-planning.
Pre-planning's a good thing.
Nothing wrong with
Supposedly people that are professionals at this kind of stuff put work in beforehand, so we're trying to emulate it slightly. Point is, of all of this, you have a new audio gig. I want to hear about it.
I do. So there's a handful of bars in the Sioux City area, and I've been doing audio for 20 years, a little over 20 years.
It's part of our origin story.
Yeah. And now I was working a small gig, just kind of happened. One of the guys was like, "Hey, I need a guy for tonight for the show." And I was like, "Sure, I'll do it." And then I met another guy there who's in one of the bands, and he said one of the other places was looking for a guy for the summer. So I was like, "Well, it's worth a look." So I looked into it, and last week did two small shows, but it went very well. I knew of this place, but I had never been there, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's a lot nicer than I thought it was. And actually, if I still drank, it would probably be a place I would frequent. So, yeah, I'm basically booked for the rest of their shows this summer. There's a couple. I mean, names that I don't recognize, but are decently big. I think the next one coming up is Paralandra. I think they're out of Missouri. I think is what I saw when I looked them up.
It's a cool band name. That's out of C.S. Lewis. I remember that. That's why that name stuck out to me.
Interesting. Now I'm definitely. I'll need to listen to some of their stuff to get ready to know what their sound is. But yeah, it's been an interesting. It's actually been with audio stuff. Well, I've got that now, and I've recently learned, because I've been doing stuff on this. Well, so my story is, so I had done that for, at the time it was like 15-ish years, and I decided, you know what, it's finally time to move more forward. So I went to school just to get the piece of paper. Much like my instructor before me, Elaine told me. But I get done with that. Well, right before I graduated, COVID happened and shut everything down. I was like, well, I'm not a cool performing artist who can just go on YouTube and be like, here, listen to my music, my cool YouTube concert. Nah, the crews kind of got screwed out of that one, which, I mean, a lot of people did. There was...
You had to be part of like one of those live streaming crews to really have your
yeah. So, and then that's why I went back to school, and now I have a day job. But so I've been doing small gigs here and there. I did one bar regularly for a little while. That ended for reasons. Um, but I've recently learned that, uh, and I've been asked by people to uh, do more work for them, more full time, or even tour. And I basically had to learn to respect myself and my, because I was doing the work for basically the minimum or a little under market value for what I was worth. And self confidence is a thing. And so this gig has taught me that I need to value, you know, the work that I've put into this. People have asked for me by name or asked for me after the fact because I'm good at what I do, and I'm good because I've been doing it for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that plays into another a different audio gig that I've had for a little bit. Negotiating basically my value. Um, but this new one understands what that value looks like, and which I'm very happy about. Um,
Yay!
and and the space, it's an outdoor stage, and it's a good stage. I see it having a whole lot of potential, and I'm excited for what could come of this. And we'll see how long. Um, I mean, I'd like to do it for a while. It all depends on opportunity. I don't see myself going anywhere at least for the next couple of years, year or two. I don't know. Life is fluid. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a call, and you know, I don't even know most of the bands that well, one of the bands I'd love to tour with isn't a band anymore because
Well,
he decided to go be with his family.
how dare
But
he?
so yeah, no, it's a good gig, right?
Nice.
Uh, but yeah, I'm excited. It's more my pace. I like the venue scene, and they've got a big metal show coming up. Uh, the last show I did was like a local hip hop thing. Uh, but I mean, so I'm excited. And I that was the other thing because I've been doing it, and around Sioux City, most of the music is country, and I will openly admit on live stream that country is only ever my favorite genre if I'm being paid for it.
It's fair.
I don't like country music. Um, I shouldn't say that. I'm extremely picky about my country music.
That's fair.
Like
Both
I
both
like
answers are fair.
certain I like certain songs, but the genre as a whole and country fans are trash. Um, but most of what I was doing was they're terrible people. Go to a country show. The fans are just not. They're not respectful. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. Um, but so I did the one show, the show at the other bar where I met the guy, and it was actually a metal show, and that's more. I mean, I don't. It was a lot harder than what I normally listen to,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a closer to the vibe that I like, the hard rock, the alternative, the stuff like that. And so, I mean, and with a venue, you get more of a. I mean, I'll probably still do country shows, but it won't be exclusively that, and that's what I prefer. I mean,
That's fair.
country's good if it's paying bills, but
It, both, it's fine to have both opinions. Like, I see nothing wrong with basically being like, I don't really like country, but if they're gonna pay me, I'll do their sound. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I'll make them sound. If I'm being paid for it, it's my favorite genre, and it's going to sound amazing.
People have
But
compromised way
when I,
worse to do way worse for money.
it's true. I might be one of those people. Not very often, but it's happened. I mean, I did join the military, so there's that.
There's that.
I went there, and every other person who used to join the military will agree with me on that. But no, as soon as I clock out, drive home. I'm detoxing with, Avenged Sevenfold and
Choose your
stuff
music
like
of
that.
choice. Yeah.
System of a Down. But I mean, so that is the new development in my life is, I got the itch back, and I found a place to scratch the itch, and we'll see where it takes, where it goes.
Nice.
Maybe I help make this venue the next big venue, or who knows? We'll
Maybe
see.
it's just a great side gig to make some money too. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like it's all like, like any option is good as long as they're paying you what you're worth in a relative manner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as they're
Yeah, and
taking
that's
care
the
of you and
biggest thing. If
making
I'm
you
gonna
feel. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's,
So I guess
as long as they're making it worth, as long as it's worth my Saturday night, and it does get me out of the apartment and socializing,
yeah,
which is good.
it's totally good. Like I wish I could find a way to get out and socialize on Saturday nights that I can, because most of the time I'd just rather sit inside and play a game.
And play Elden Ring?
I was gonna get there. And first, the first thing I was gonna say though was like, if there are any, I was gonna ask if we just have any other audio people out there who might understand your plight. Like,
Yeah.
maybe there's someone out there who like doesn't like alt rock or something like that, but frankly, they pay the bills, so they do it. Like, if you're out there and you like that, make sure you comment.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think, or maybe tell us what your opinions on music are. Like, we want to know. And if you've also got opinions
Maybe.
on weddings and stuff, I'll take those too.
Yeah, if you think I'm wrong about country music, then we're gonna agree to disagree. But comment. Let me know.
Let us know.
Tell me-
Let us
tell
know
me-
what you think.
Educate me on why country music might not be as bad as I think it is.
Or maybe you can try to educate him by giving him a song that's a personal favorite of yours that he should try listening to. See if it works for him. It doesn't have to. He
Sure.
maybe doesn't even have to respond to tell you how wrong you are or how right you are. But
There are some good country
Oh,
songs. But
I'll be honest.
the
I
genres-
used to dislike country, but I really enjoy Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton is good.
And there's some
I will say that. I will agree with that.
And
Chris
there's-
Stapleton is
there's some classic rock that I think would also nowadays like kind of more be country. Like, I think that the Eagles, I think, is one of those that technically would be more country now. You might argue with me on that, but I would like the voice isn't, but the music style.
that one's a little
maybe
some of it.
I
mean,
the rock
you
style.
know, I mean, you're not wrong. You could even go. There's Avenged Sevenfold is an extremely is a fairly heavy. I think they'd be classified as metal.
I'm
Very
pretty sure they are.
heavy. But there's at least one song of theirs that I really enjoy that you could say flirts with being country.
So,
Um,
point is, point is, tell us,
so I mean, yeah,
tell us what you think about country.
it's
Maybe,
all the same.
maybe there's a rock song that you think like qualifies as country. Tell us in the comments. Like, just seriously, like we want to know, and it helps the
Yeah,
algorithm. Please,
or share your favorite songs with us.
heck yeah, like
Yeah, share your favorite songs with us.
heck
I
yeah.
love finding new music.
I enjoy finding new music, and if it sticks around, then it sticks around. There's some music that I listen to. I'm like, I really enjoy this, and then it doesn't necessarily always get added to my regular rotation. But like, I'll go back to it and go, yeah, I really enjoy this.
Yeah.
Then there's music that just gets stuck in
Mm-hmm.
regular rotation. But now that I wanted to make sure we gave people that opportunity to, interact with us and comment and all that kind of good stuff, because just a reminder, make sure you like this video and subscribe, please, if you like the stuff you're seeing here. But now that Anthony did touch on it, and I got the administrative promotional stuff out of the way, I guess we'll talk a little bit about Elden Ring, which I'm gonna talk about Elden Ring with the caveat that forced enjoyment is absolutely still happening because I hate this game. Um, um, it's another one of those things that is, again, reliant on me buying a webcam, which should actually honestly happen within the next couple weeks. It will maybe as soon as Enterprise gets me my $300 refundable deposit back, I'll get that webcam. Screw you, Enterprise. Nonetheless, so I've been playing Elden Ring, and listen, the only way I can describe my relationship with this game is it feels like Stockholm Syndrome for dopamine. Like, I don't know how to put this. Like, basically, I'm now level 66 in Elden Ring. My character that I'm just doing on my own to kind of try to understand this, so that way I'm not completely fumbling around in forced enjoyment. Although I promise you, I'm gonna absolutely fumble around in forced enjoyment, because some of this stuff just isn't. It's not gonna stick around in my head for too long, because like I'm just like, how did I beat that boss? Oh, just because I used my spirit ashes, and I used things, and like, yeah. So like, point is, yes, forced enjoyment will happen, but yeah, I just, Elden Ring is such an interest. Honestly, I was listening to Ludwig and playing it last night, and Ludwig described it so aptly. He was like, this is either the hardest game of all time or the best game of all time, and it walks the fine line so closely.
Yeah.
And he's right.
One of the reasons I have played it.
Because it is absolutely infuriating. Because like last night I was in, Rolana. I think it's Rolana.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rolana. Not that you would know, but I've got to go. It's the second major dungeon after Stormvale, right, in Elden Ring. And like with this one, you get respecking. Like, so I'm technically speaking, like the level for according to my friend, like the level for this dungeon is like 40 something. I'm level 60 something. Dude, the mobs in this castle could still take me out if I got if they got unlucky. If I got unlucky and they just got the right combination, I could die by just a regular mob. Screw you, this dungeon is level 40. Like, no way. If it's level 40, I should be looking at these mobs, slapping them with my sword, and then watching them cowl in fear. But
I'm sure there's some level scale.
it wouldn't surprise me. It's a modern video game. But nonetheless, then you got like this invader, that like Moongrum. If I don't remember if if you've watched it, was it? I don't remember if it was Dinklebam for Bonk, but basically Jack in his video, he's like, "Oh, this guy isn't he? Doesn't he like really like just parry a lot?" And then right after he says that, he like parries and kills him instantly, and he's just like, "Yep." And it's exactly what happened. This guy, as my friend put it today, he input reads at an obnoxious level. At an absolutely obnoxious level. Like, and the AI is stupid, frustratingly stupid. Like, it figured out that I was like, oh, I can do it like this. And then it changed its strategy completely. I was like, I can't cheese that anymore. Crap. So, and maybe it's I'm bad at Elden Ring, to be fair. In which case, forced enjoyment's gonna be great for everyone because I suck still. It took me popping a rune arc. It took me popping a rune arc to get to finally beat this guy, and it took the rune arc. I had to so you use the rune arcs for like activating your runes, right? The first rune you get in the game is OP, and it's wonderful. Like, it adds +5 to every single one of your stats, all the way down, from strength to arcane. Like, just +5. So it's like the equivalent of like, I think like 40, I don't remember what's the equivalent of like 40 levels or something like that, I think, technically speaking, because it's +5, +5, +5, +5, 8 stats down, right? So it's basically you only get +1 stat for a level. So, but
yeah,
I don't remember the actual math, but I think it is approximately 4 levels. Like, are you freaking kidding me? I had just so I could get the nice little dopamine hit of I beat that guy finally.
that's how they get you.
I'm an addict. And I'm an addict because of the dopamine hits that Elden Ring gives me, and I hate this game. I hate and I love it. I hate and I love it because I'm still talking about it at work, and I'm like, hey, I beat the Wolf of Radagon. Hey, I beat Rolana. Hey, I beat Godric. Hey, I beat Margit. Hey, I beat these legacy dungeons. Like, there's a part of me that enjoys it just for the sake of there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of exploring to be had. There's cool things about this game. If you can get past the absolutely brutal, absolutely horrendously brutal gameplay, and I still argue that there's still some poor game design involved in these games, because like I don't know, like there's no way for me to track what I'm doing. Like, I still have no way to like know like what quests are there. You don't track quests in this game. You just kind of you Google your quests is basically what you do for questing in this game. It's like, oh, I want this. What am I gonna do? Let's just Google it. So I legit don't understand how some of these people like just figure it out. Like, I go, do you guys just have like a direct phone line to like FromSoft? They kind of go, I got a question, and they go, oh, we'll answer you, you know, and like, so, yeah, it's annoying. It's super annoying. And
yeah, that's why I've watched gameplay and I've never played it.
You should try so I can have misery, and so I can have company in my misery.
I'm not opposed to trying Elden.
I won't force you to do it, honestly, but like, this game is like, I've invested like 60-ish or hours, and I'm not that far. To be fair, I think I'd have to look at my character. I think my new character might have closer to like 45, 46 something hours invested in, but like, it's still just like, there's so much that sometimes you just have to like go grind on other things for like time on end. I'm just like, but why? I just want to beat game. I want to play game. I want game to scale with me. I want game to have cohesive story, and I want to beat game and have fun. I don't want to have my dopamine withheld by jerks. My dopamine is being withheld by jerks who make it who put it behind just unforgiving gameplay. And I want my dopamine. I want my dopamine from software. Give it to me better.
See, that's the thing about. I mean, that was the thing that I heard about, like, one of the first Mario games. Japanese just make their games way harder because I don't know why. But then they had to send a new Mario to the United States because we needed it dumbed down because we're not
sadistic.
we're not on their level. But also, there's a place for that kind of just the brutally hard. Because, I mean, nothing good comes easy.
I mean, yes, but I hate you for that. I'm
really looking forward to Force Enjoyment. I want to watch you suffer.
If you want to watch me suffer, subscribe.
Look at Jacksepticeye. I mean, he makes it look easy.
That man has invested so much time into that game. I cannot comprehend. I don't comprehend that. He even says that he doesn't get the lore. He's like, I don't really follow the lore, but I've beat the game like 20 times. And I'm like, bro, why?
Yeah, I think Bonk dies like maybe twice the entire time. That's probably wrong. But it's minimal.
Yeah.
I think most other players die the number of times Bonk dies in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. I obviously didn't finish it, but like during my play I was listening to, like I said earlier, I was listening to Ludwig. And Ludwig did like I'm not leaving this room until I beat the Elden Ring DLC, and it was like 5 parts long, like 11-hour days. I was just like, jeez. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, everyone. Unless y'all get us to like 1,000 subscribers before I get to that, and then when I'm live streaming, like, y'all just basically be like, no, we want you to just be in pain for the rest of your life. Fine. I'll do it. I'll play Elden Ring for the rest of my life if you pay me. But, like...
Well, I mean, Elden Ring, now you need to go back through and play through all of the Souls games.
I do own Dark Souls Remastered on Switch. I probably won't get to it anytime soon. I won't get to it anytime soon, because if and when, because I will beat Elden Ring, and I'm not gonna... Here's the dealio. Because I'm an obstinate... I almost cursed. I'm an obstinate a-hole. I'm not done beating Elden Ring until I've beat, like, every boss. Like, at the very least, I'm beating every single, like, god. Or whatever they call them. Demigods, I think. Like, I'm beating all the major dungeons. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If I have to, like, go do a respec just so I can beat some boss, so I can have the right stuff, just so I can beat the boss, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna grit my teeth and do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Your face was frozen for a second, so I was concerned.
Yeah, you froze.
Cool.
We back.
So now that I got myself all worked up, legitimately worked up, like
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I'm back. We
There's
got. Oop.
also a problem.
Oh, hold on. You all right? We good? Check. Frozen?
Yeah,
Okay, I hear you better. You went robot-y voice there for a second, and your face is a little
did
frozen.
I?
Your face is okay. You're good. You're
Am I?
good. We're back.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear
Can you
you,
hear me now?
and your face is moving. So yay. Um,
Yay!
um. So, boy,
Breathe.
I'm breathing.
There's nothing quite like dopamine laced with trauma.
Oh God, I hate Elden Ring, and I love it at the same time, but I hate it. Like, there's a part of me that's like, we talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. Like, I will probably play Elden Ring on Saturday in my hotel room while I'm waiting for like getting ready to get ready for the wedding, because I'm actually contemplating bringing the Switch as well. But like at the very, basically my plan is I'm bringing anyway. Like yeah. Anyway, I've calmed down now. Calmed down. I've calmed down. So we have comments.
Do we now?
We do. So Dale Schooler, Dale Schooler 8172. I first of all I apologize for mispronouncing your
How is it spelled?
Schuler.
Schuler. I know who that is.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who that is. What's his comment?
So he commented he commented
English?
English, please. I know English is hard. So he commented Mountain Dew Zero, which I assume means he wants us, or at least one of us, to react to try Mountain Dew Zero. Yeah. I mean, like, first of all, I'll be honest.
This is zero sugar.
Yeah, this is the zero sugar. So, like, technically speaking, I don't think Anthony can have it because I think this makes his body go,
Does it have aspartame in it?
Let me find out.
Some of the artificial sweeteners.
Yep, aspartame.
Do weird. Yep. I mean, I just don't. It's not the greatest experience. I would try a taste if I had some.
And we would have to record the morning after just for the funsies.
No, it usually just gives me a headache.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Doesn't taste right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. So to Dale. Be honest. I've had Mountain Dew Zero before. But I've never really given it major thought. So like, I'll give you some major thought. Basically, it's just more bitter, is how I can describe the flavor to me.
Interesting.
Because, like,
I've always
go.
I was gonna say I've always been curious what the big difference between zero and diet is.
I suspect it's calorie content.
Yeah,
it's not always the sugar content. So, like regular Mountain Dew, there's like a just a regular bright flavor, right? And like the bright flavor is there, and it's still in that initial taste, but the back half of the flavor is just, to me, it's just super bitter. It's a perfectly fine Mountain Dew. I have absolutely bought it before on accident and been like, hey, this is fine. But it's just like there's a little bitter taste at the end, at the back half of the flavor. Yeah, really, just a bitter taste at the back half of the Mountain Dew Zero. That's the best way I can describe it. Tastes similar, just bitter. It's like something happened to it in life and it can't get over it. And your face is frozen, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Um oh, you're also a bit of a robot. Uh-oh. Check, check. We're in an intermission time of the show. So I guess you'll just have to see all of my face, you know. While I get stuff figured out with Anthony, I see his face, hooray, wee wee. All right, I see a
I'm
face
showing
moving.
green again.
I'm seeing green too. So we're still here. We never left. I just sang because I can. Um, and on
Technology.
it's so technology is wonderful, and sometimes we only have ourselves to blame. Speaking as the one whose camera has caused us issues. But I guess we're just going to move on to our next topic then. Just because we can. Why not? I'm just going to... I mentioned this before, and I just want to talk about it because I actually kind of made my decision last night. And this is news that's like a week or two old at this point. But Microsoft announced that they were going to increase Game Pass pricing. Like they changed the tiers and everything. Like, honest to God, it's pretty old news at this point. If you want to know about it, to any of our listeners, just Google it. But they changed the tiers, so like there's a basic one. It's like the console version. You get some games, but not all. You don't necessarily get games on day one. You can play multiplayer, but yeah, you got that. And then there's like they really screwed up the tiers. But basically, the tier that I'm on used to be like I think it's 16, 18. I shouldn't check. I should check. I believe it's 18. Confident it's 18 actually. $18 a month, and that's like the Game Pass Ultimate tier. So basically that means you can play whatever the heck you want on an Xbox. You can play whatever the heck you want that they've got available for you to play on the PC, and you can play whatever the heck you want over the cloud, right? So you can just connect to your phone to the cloud and play. Or what I've done before is I've launched it up on my Mac and like I played Control. And it's always worked pretty well. Like, I've legitimately enjoyed the service. Like, there's times I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure I'm always getting my money worth out of it, but, like, I've got stuff available. I've played other games on it. But then they're like, yeah, now it's $20 a month now for PC Ultimate. And I'm just like, that's $20 a month for 12 months, which is now $240 a year. And if I'm not playing, like, if I'm legit for $240 a year, I need to straight up beat 4 games available on the Game Pass service every year,
And big games too.
And they have to be big games. Like, for example, Call of Duty 3 is not for me. I used to enjoy the COD games. I still enjoy them a little bit here and there because I enjoy a fun, brainless first-person shooter. I enjoy press button, brains go bye-bye. There's something fun about that. On the computer, and on the computer only. But, like, I've bought most of the games that are on Xbox or PC that I really want. Like, I bought Dead Cells off Microsoft, and like there's Minecraft, for example. Like, I've got that. I don't need Game Pass for that. Legit, like, I was looking at this last night and I went, the only game I really need to beat on Game Pass right now is Jedi Survivor. And even that, it wouldn't break my heart if I didn't beat it, because I'll just wait till I find it on sale for the PS5 and buy it on that. Like, GameStop will absolutely, that will drop to $30, $40 eventually at GameStop, and then it will drop on sale after that. So, like, I'll wait.
Yep.
Like, and I'm just like, you know what, Game Pass, you've been fun, but I don't need you anymore. Like, I've got so many games on my PC. I've got plenty of them play on my handheld. Like, I play most games on my handheld now anyway. Although I do enjoy Elden Ring on the PC, on the beefy PC, because it just it looks better. It looks prettier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
so pissed. I shouldn't say I'm so pissed about that, but I just went, this is stupid. Like, I don't know what flipped from $18 a month to 20, because even at 18 I was like, I don't really think I get $18 a month out of use, but like, I still played cloud gaming enough from time to time that I was like, fine. Like, I was willing to just accept it, but like,
Yeah.
now I'm like, just $20 a month is not a lot. But
Yeah.
I basically decided that, like, I'm going to keep Game Pass through August, because this next month, August, is the last month of it at like $18 or whatever. But then I'm canceling it during the middle of August to be like, I'm not paying for it at $20. Bye. So
Yeah. I've never personally had Game Pass. I've never had a. Yeah, if I want to play a game, I'm going to buy the game. I'm going to play it at my pace. I I don't do enough for a service like Game Pass.
yeah,
And I don't have a whole lot of the Xbox services anyways. I've never been an Xbox person. So a lot of that is, but yeah, $20 a month. Yeah, unless you're playing several large games within that year, it's not really worth it.
or you better be playing at least one indie game a month, playing and beating one indie game a
Yeah,
month. Like, at $20 a month, that's what you're either playing several big games and beating them, or you're playing and beating one or two indie games a month. That's the only way
yeah,
that price makes it worth it. And like, I have my indie games I like, but I bought them. Like, like the only thing that I've told you this before, but like Diablo 4 is maybe is a reason why I was like, yeah, I can keep this around so I can play Diablo 4. But guess what? I haven't played Diablo 4. I've been playing Final
yeah,
Fantasy 7 or in right now Elden Ring. Like, they're different games, of course, but like,
yeah.
it scratched
Well,
that
and
RPG itch for me.
yeah. Well, and even something like that, if that's the only thing you're playing, like
You're better off buying
I
it.
know, yeah, I did the post game grind for Diablo 3 for the longest time, and I bought the collector's editions. So it was like $100, but it's still, I mean, $100 lasted me several years as opposed to $240 in 1 year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if if you want a very large amount of variety at your fingertips and you're able to take advantage of that, I Game Pass would be. But for yeah, for us people who buy the one game, play it to completion, or focus on your long metagame like your Diablos, your
Yeah.
World of Warcrafts, your
The live
Destinies, and
services
stuff like
games,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you're better off just paying the one time and having it.
So yeah,
So I don't blame you for canceling.
I guess the question is out there for all of you. What do you guys think of the Game Pass increase? Have you guys decided if you're going to cancel yet, or do you guys use it enough to justify the price? And if you do, what do you play to justify the price? Like, I actually legitimately kind of want to know, because, like, yeah, for me, I don't, but I can imagine some people probably do. So let us know in the
Yeah,
comments below. Um,
maybe he'll show us our next favorite game. Who knows?
who knows? Like, yeah, like my goal is to beat Jedi Survivor over August, but if I don't, I don't. Either way, I'm not paying for Game Pass after this. So, like,
Yeah, it's
um,
true.
see, so we're talking about news stuff, and I'll be honest, I really don't want to talk about this topic.
We'll touch on it briefly, I guess. I just found it really interesting, and I don't know all the nuances behind it, but it's it's just weird. And since originally writing that, I've heard more things that kind of, well, I've seen memes that kind of give context to why things went the way they went, and it's still not great.
No, it's really not.
Um, and it's sad, but I mean, that's you have to be careful what you
If
say
you say stupid
in front
things,
of people.
stupid things will happen to you. I
Yeah,
I got
and
nothing else to say to that.
yeah,
Like, uh, I'll let you speak, and I'm gonna speak my piece on it.
there's so the news is the the thing that happened at the Tenacious D concert. Um, Kyle said something, and whether or not you agree with him or disagree with him, there's a time and a place. Like everyone's entitled to their opinions, and there's a time and a place for joking, but it also has to be clear that you're because like I watch plenty of comedians who say far worse things, but there's a context to it, and then there was all the fallout after that that just it ended up being a pretty big deal, and now if if will there ever be a Tenacious D again, who knows, but right now there's not, and that's just how the cookie crumbled. um I mean, yeah, he's a I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, right or wrong, um but you have to be careful when you say it and how you say it, who you say it to, because there are some people who will take that seriously and do things they shouldn't do. Um, they don't understand that you were kidding. But I mean, yeah. And I know he apologized after the fact, which I mean, and that's but
Wow.
that also touches on, how quickly we are to
Uh-oh.
cancel people for
Cool.
one dumb moment. No.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
You,
it
you
came back.
came
Am
back.
I
You came
back?
back. You're back. You're back.
Okay.
How dumb it is to cancel people for one dumb moment. You're fine.
Um, yeah. Like I people make mistakes. Um, if there's a pattern of these same mistakes, or if it's a behavior thing, then maybe. But I mean, and again, I don't want to get into the politics of it because everyone's entitled to their opinion, and nothing's necessarily wrong or right, and it's just it's unfortunate, is what it is. Um, but I mean, as far as music goes, I mean, Tenacious D was a big deal for a while.
They were.
Whether or not you like them, they were. You know who they were,
I
and
I
I mean,
I listened to
Pick
them and I kept
Destiny.
up with
Come
them.
on.
Yeah. Uh,
I mean,
they've got iconic classics that we all know of. Like at least people within our generations know, right?
yeah,
Um. Yeah.
yeah. It's
I
it
mean,
was it was weird seeing a group like that fall apart.
yeah. Look, it's complicated, and I recognize that people are allowed to have their own opinions. I'm gonna stick with you. I'm 100% agree with you on that. Actually, I agree with you pretty much on everything, frankly. But it's just one of those
Mhm.
things that here's the truth of the matter. Like I don't feel like I have any particular space to tell anyone like to judge too heavily. Like I've done my fair share of stupid stuff. Like I don't think I have that great of high moral high ground. But the honest truth is, I also think I have the unique position to say if you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And
Mhm.
if you know that if you have been in the public eye for more or less 2 decades, you know full well that you have influence. You should know full well your position. You should, frankly, based off your own beliefs and politics, you should be taking that respect and love freaking stance. And then you do the exact freaking opposite and you say, shouldn't miss next time. I'm sorry. Go yourself.
Yeah.
Like I listen, I don't I'll be frank, I don't like Trump, but I don't wish that on him. No one should. And the fact that he said that is
I yeah.
stupid. And he did listen, I hope in a few years he can come back and if he actually means an apology, actually learn from it. But by and large, that side of the spectrum, and I'm trying to be respectful and nice, but that side of the spectrum, their apologies are typically pretty loose and they typically don't mean
Well,
it. And then when they get approached by it later, they go, well, I didn't really mean it that much because I was trying to be funny about it. Like when freaking Kathy Griffin did the head, she did the bullcrap apology and then she goes, well, I was trying to be funny about it because I'm a humorist. And it's like, there's still a line. Like I can be offended by humor and still find it funny, but there's still a context of which you go,
yeah.
that's just a line you don't go. Like
Yeah.
effigies and that, like wishing ill upon people is like, you deserve everything that's coming upon you. You just do. I
Yeah.
don't, I
Wishing
don't, like, I don't, I'm not taking pleasure in it because, again, I enjoyed Tenacious D. Like, there's a part of me that's still, like, I'll hear tribute or I can hear something from the Pick of Destiny come on, and I promise you, I will still know it by heart. But, like,
yeah.
play
And
stupid
that's
games, get stupid prizes.
I
And Jack Black's got
yeah,
his own
I
stuff to worry about.
yeah. Well, and you should never, I mean, whether or not you agree with some or disagree with someone, you should not wish harm on them.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what side you're on, unless unless they're a genuinely terrible human being. Like I'm comfortable in saying that like if it's that's still a gray area. It's still because there's a fine line between wishing harm on someone and wishing justice on someone. Is how I should clarify that.
Yes. I'm
Um,
fine for wishing. Yeah. Like, even for
yeah,
Kyle Gass right now, like, I don't wish harm upon the guy. Like, I feel bad because his
yeah,
life has been affected, but also
yeah.
justice.
But
Like, you said something you shouldn't.
like, I mean, regardless of how I feel about our current president, the president before him, the president before him, like, no, I don't wish harm on them, even if I disagree with their politics. And because that's part of the human nature and the human experience. We're all different, and it's not good. And yeah, the whole influencer thing. You have even with us now, we have to be careful about what we say because we're
We're live
people are
on the
listening
internet. Yeah. We're
now.
publishing ourselves out there.
And as far as the apologies go, I mean I think that's less a side of the spectrum and more a Hollywood. I'm gonna call it a Hollywood thing because in general, especially with those, because a lot of them have become disconnected with reality, and
Yes.
so they do something dumb, and then they apologize, and it's like, yeah, but now you're just apologizing to save face. Do you really mean
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Was it truly a lapse in judgment, and it was just a mistake like anybody else's mistake, or did you know what you were doing and you did it, and now you were hoping it wouldn't be as bad as it was, but it is worse than you thought it was, and so now you got to save face. It's it's a Hollywood thing. It's it's a celebrity thing
It,
in general. I mean, there are
it's a
some
human thing
celebrities
too.
that are actually, well, yeah, that's true. It is a very human thing.
It's just that
Because I've
it's out for display on celebrities. Like if they do it,
yeah,
we all see it. I'm not
yeah,
defending
and
it, but yeah.
yeah. Well, and that's I mean, with any specific with any profession that you choose that has those some kind of um, risk involved, whether it's social or physical or whatever it is, you pick that job. And if you don't want those risks and responsibilities, you should go find something else to do instead of complain when things get tough or things don't go your way.
Yep.
It's like if you know if I come back in 20 years and complain, oh, I'm mostly deaf. Well, yeah, I picked a job where I stood in front of speakers for years and now I'm deaf. Like
That's
I
what you
could have
get.
picked a desk job.
Yep.
That's what I get. And so yeah, if you have any kind of influence on someone's life, be careful how you handle that. Because yeah,
Yeah.
it's and yeah, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But I mean, it's I think it goes beyond just the specific what he was talking about and what we said. It's the influencer thing. It's the don't wish harm on people.
Just try
Like
to care about other people that look similar to you.
yeah, because that's how we get into situations like those terrible situations where you stop caring about people and you start wanting to harm the people who disagree with you. That doesn't get us anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learn
And
to, I mean, yeah,
rhetoric is law. That. Oh boy,
yeah.
I'm gonna stop us right there because that has been something that has been deep on my mind, and I have a phone call with my parents in like 25 minutes.
Nice. But
Um,
that's why I say, like in the comments, educate us. If you disagree with about something, then teach me
comment,
something.
comment,
Learn me a thing.
talk with us down below.
And instead of just
Don't just listen. Don't
like
just stick to your
writing us
echo
off.
chambers. That's something I would like to say before we try to transition into crashing. It's like it's fine to have your echo chambers. It's fine to have people that you can talk with who have similar opinions. It's not okay to just stay only in your echo chambers. It's good to
Yeah.
maybe insert yourself into another echo chamber, even if it makes you angry and you maybe even vehemently disagree with it. It's good to just listen and get perspective. Because even if you
You
still
might
did,
learn something.
you might learn something, but even
You
if you
might teach something.
even if you don't even if you still disagree, you might just have a little bit of more insight as to why they see things the way that they do. Um,
Yeah.
please, people, just care about listening. That's if we can have one granular impact on the internet.
To quote the greatest band of all time, I said that all you need is love.
Sure.
And so many people are going to disagree with me on that.
I might technically even be one of them, but I also technically don't
Oh, I know.
entirely
I know.
disagree either. So, semantics are a thing. Um, anyway, speaking of semantics, do you know what happens when you don't care about semantics in air flight? You crash that plane. And speaking of crashing that plane, it's time for us to crash the plane for this evening's live recording podcast. I unfortunately we don't know how Anthony responded visually, if he responded at all.
Did I freeze again?
Oh, just a little bit, but your voice is your voice, so it's good. So crashing the plane.
I don't know.
I don't know what we're crashing. I guess my leg is cramping at the worst time. So we're gonna crash that plane while I bend my leg back and forth here. So guys, if you enjoy this video, if what?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
I wasn't going to make a suggest comment.
Hey, I got these are real pants.
Who knows what's for that desk?
These are shorts. I got real pants on. Unlike some of us. For example, my cat.
It's like 80 degrees in my apartment right now.
Oh my!
It
is so sore.
It's because you're old.
I'm old, and if you're getting old, make sure you like and subscribe. Fudge. So I guess.
I shouldn't laugh. I've been there.
God, it's so bad. Ah!
So like and subscribe. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, throw some comments. Let us know. Educate us. If there's something you want us to talk about and share our opinions on, we might get to it. He might die. Who knows?
I'm alive.
This could be the end.
God, that hurts so bad. It still hurts.
I suppose we could still do this even if you lose your leg, so, you know.
I can still sit and I can still edit, although I haven't edited any shorts this week, but that's just because I've just been busy and I'm like, I don't want to edit shorts. Ah!
Like and subscribe if you want to see if he survives this or not.
I'm going to survive. Like and subscribe if you want to see these gams on every stream, baby. So, I am in pain in my brain, can't brain. Like and subscribe. That's important. Make sure you comment. Tell us your opinions, like he said. Now my back's hurting. That's great. I'm getting old. And if you're getting old and you want to...
Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. Comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Share us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We actually have a Twitter account now. We have an Instagram handle. We don't have a Facebook yet.
MySpace? Myself.
Once as we release our first single as a duet, we can release it on MySpace, I think. Oh!
I'm so glad this is live.
I am too, I suppose. Yeah, guys, so next week's going to be another live stream. I guess there's admin stuff, I suppose. While my leg has calmed down. Next week we're going to live stream as well, just because adulting is hard sometimes, and I've been busy at work, and these past couple weeks I've just been busy enough at work that's like, I just don't really feel like editing a video right now too much outside of what I'm having to do for work, so we're live streaming for a couple weeks. But we can give you
sometimes we get content.
Say that again? You cut out.
So I've been content on last year.
Yeah. Um. Well, you're still robot-y. But I guess it's my turn to cover. I get cramps. You get frozen. But stay alive. So, fuck. Um, oops.
We're live streaming next week.
We're live streaming next week. Oh yeah, the hint. We are planning to go see Deadpool and Wolverine this weekend since I'm gonna be in Anthony's neck of the woods. So look forward to next week for our thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. This is gonna be like the first Marvel movie I've seen since Thor Ragnarok. I think.
I think the last one I saw was Endgame.
Yeah, it's been a bit. So we'll definitely have to give you we'll definitely be giving you our thoughts on all that. I actually might even just like bring my phone and we'll just get some fun little short videos of our thoughts. I don't know. We'll figure it out. At the very least, we're gonna be live streaming next week and giving you guys our full thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine, as well as maybe some Mountain Dews and stuff too, I'm sure, because I guess you are going to be trying to get a Mountain Dew while you're visiting, while we're kind of hanging out together, so.
Yep.
There's a potential.
There will be that, so we'll do that.
So, on that note, guys, we're just going to continue to do what we do, and y'all can do you. And we're going to just make sure that we see you guys next week for another live stream of just doing what we do. We'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye!